The betting markets continue to give her an 88% chance of winning Virginia. Finally, up in New England, both New Hampshire and the statewide race in Maine are also likely to go to Harris. These two tend to be the only semi-competitive races in this otherwise deep blue region, but New Hampshire still went for Biden by 7 points in 2020 and Maine by 9. Polls indicate Harris will hold both for Democrats by similar margins this November. That wraps up the likely blue states. Before moving on to Trump's likely states, a quick reminder, only about 20% of you are subscribed, so please take a moment to hit the free subscribe button below for more content like this leading up to Election Day. Now, as for the likely Trump states, let's start with Alaska. Trump is almost certain to win here, with a 91% chance according to the latest odds. Alaska hasn't gone blue in 60 years, though Trump's 10-point margin in 2020 was the narrowest for Republicans since 1968. Turning to the Midwestern tandem of Iowa and Ohio, both are likely to stay in Trump's column. These states voted for Barack Obama in both 2008 and 2012, serving as key bellwethers during that time. However, they've swung hard to the right since then, with Trump winning both by at least 8 points in 2016 and 2020. Currently, Trump has a 93% chance of winning Iowa and a 92% chance of carrying Ohio, according to Polymarket's latest odds. Trump also has an 82% chance of winning Maine's 2nd congressional district, a district he carried by 10 points in 2016 and by a narrower but still solid 7 points in 2020. This district is among the most rural and whitest in the country, both factors suggesting it could become even more favorable for Republicans in the future. Looking back at the map and moving down south to Florida, Trump is heavily favored to keep the Sunshine State in the Republican column for the 4th straight cycle. Florida, with its 30 electoral votes, the third most in the nation, has long been a quintessential swing state, having been decided by less than 6 points in each of the last 8 cycles. However, it's now firmly leaning Republican after Trump expanded his margin of victory in 2020 compared to 2016. In the 2022 midterms, both Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Marco Rubio were re-elected by more than 15 points each, signaling an even stronger shift to the right in the state's political landscape. Polymarket currently gives Trump an 86% chance of winning Florida, where he holds a 6-point lead in the Real Clear polling average over the last 5 polls. Now let's take a look at Texas, the second largest prize on the map with 40 electoral votes. It is also likely to go to Trump. Joe Biden garnered 46.5% of the vote in Texas in 2020, the most for a Democrat since 1976. But despite the leftward trend in urban areas like Dallas and San Antonio, the heavily Hispanic and increasingly right-leaning Rio Grande Valley in South Texas has dampened Democratic hopes of flipping the state blue anytime soon. Polymarket gives Trump an 89% chance of winning Texas, slightly better than his odds in Florida, though the polling actually suggests the opposite. Trump's lead in Texas is currently 5.2%, based on the last 4 polls. Together with the other likely states, Texas gives Trump a significant boost, bringing his electoral vote count to 219, just 7 shy of Harris, who stands at 226. That leaves 93 electoral votes remaining across the 7 core battleground states we've been discussing all cycle. These states were each decided by less than 3 points in 2020, and with the exceptions of Nevada, which voted blue twice, and North Carolina, which voted red in both elections, the other 5 states flipped from Trump in 2016 to Joe Biden in 2020. Now in the 2024 cycle, neither Trump nor Harris have better than a 70% chance of winning any of the core battleground states. Our next rating classification is lean, which covers the 65 to 80% probability range. Only one state falls into this category, and that is Arizona, with 11 electoral votes. The odds currently favor Trump at 67%. Disregard the colors on the graph, but these are the best odds Republicans have had since Biden exited the race. Remember, back in 2020, Arizona went blue for only the 2nd time in 70 years, driven by the rapid growth and diversification of Maricopa County, which includes the Phoenix metro area.